Mom always said you better eat your vegetables, right? But so often they're bland, or maybe you don't even know where to start when it comes to cooking them. I'm gonna show you 3 delicious, simple to prepare recipes that you are going to love. And more importantly, I bet your kids are gonna love them too. Let's start off with this first one. Sound good? Let's cook. I've got some fresh acorn squash here. What I like to do is put my knife in it a little bit, then use my other hand to push straight through. Hard squash can be difficult because it is so dang hard. So again, put your knife in a little bit, then use your other hand to push through. Be very careful when doing this. And then for the seeds in the inside, just use a spoon and scrape them out until they are all out of there. Then I set them to the side on a sheet tray lined with parchment paper. Now in a small pot, I'm going to add in some unsalted butter, followed up with some packed light brown sugar. Now going into this mixture as well is cinnamon, and then we want to season it up very, very well with some salt and some fresh cracked black pepper. We won't be seasoning the squash. This butter mixture will do all the seasoning for us. We're going over to the cooktop on about medium heat. We need to start stirring this immediately or else the brown sugar will stick to the bottom and burn. Essentially what we're trying to do here is make a salty caramel. Once it is mixed together and to this consistency, we're going to switch over to a pastry brush and generously brush each of our acorn squash wedges with our butter brown sugar mixture. It's totally okay if there's some left over. Don't worry, we'll hook it up at the end with a little bit more. Going over to the oven on 375 degrees Fahrenheit, it takes about 45 minutes for these to completely finish roasting up. At that time, let's bring them out and take a look. They are so good, just like this, my friends. I'm telling you right now, you definitely have to try one immediately. But like I said, if you've got some leftover caramel, salty goodness, let's spread the rest of it on there. Make sure it's heated up though. Add it to a bowl and then finish it off with a little fresh chopped sage. And now for the next one, I've got some Brussels sprouts. Be sure to dig through them. You might find a rotten one here or there. Maybe you accidentally put it in there. To prepare them, it is very easy. Just slice them in half. That's all you need to do until they are all sliced. We're just going to add them to the bowl, set it to the side, and now I've got some bacon. This is thick cut bacon. I feel like it renders a little bit more fat because all of our Brussels sprouts are going to be cooked in that delicious fat. Once it is cut up, add it to a bowl, grab that bowl and of course the Brussels sprouts bowl. We're going over to a cooktop. I've got a very large frying pan here. We're going to crank the heat to about medium to medium high. We're going to add in our bacon once the pan is warm. Now, the trick here is to render as much fat as possible with cooking the bacon until it is crispy brown. If the heat is too high, it'll get crisped up, but not that much fat will render. Once it is that perfect crisp consistency, we're going to change out spoons here to a slotted spoon, drain off as much of that fat as possible, set it to the side on a plate with paper towels. Now go back over to that pan. We're going to turn the heat up to medium high. Spread the Brussels sprouts all over the pan just to make sure they cover as much surface area as possible. What we're going to do is let it cook, okay? 3 to 4 minutes before we come in and give it a stir and a shake just like this. Now you want to stir after this first point, maybe every 1 to 2 minutes for a total of 8 to 10 minutes. Season them with salt and fresh cracked black pepper. Of course, give it a quick stir until it is completely mixed in. We are going in the oven on 375 degrees. It's going to take maybe just 10 to 15 minutes. I like nice crunchy vegetables. In the meantime, I've got blue cheese. I like to wear gloves or else sometimes my hands smell like blue cheese for the rest of the day, and I don't want that. So just crumble it up. Yes, there will be a lot of leftover crumbles here. I use it all the time, so I just keep it in a little container. Once they are crumbled, just set them to the side in the refrigerator. Let's go have a look at our Brussels sprouts. They are finished. They look fantastic, nice and caramelized and browned up. Perfect. Now, to finish them off, go add that bacon right back in there. Give it a quick toss, and then I'm going to add it to a small bowl, and then finish it off with some of our crumbled blue cheese. Delicious. And last but not least, I've got some baby carrots right on the stem. I was always taught this is what a baby carrot is, not the whittled down version that's in a little package, although you can use those for these. For aesthetic purposes only, I'm going to trim off most of the stem until maybe a 1/2 inch or an inch total. Just gives a nice little shot of green in there, so to speak. Next, I peel them on all sides, obviously with a peeler. And then just add them to a bowl. We're heading over to a large pot of boiling salted water. Remember, the water should be as salty as the ocean. Add our carrots in there. It takes only 4 to 6 minutes. I want it al dente, nice and crunchy still. Add butter to a pan, a separate pan over low heat. We are going to create this glaze. You do that by swirling the pan around in a circular motion until the butter is melted and completely coating the bottom of the pan. Once it is melted and coated, I'm going to add a little bit of honey here. You can add brown sugar or maple syrup. I just think honey is the best. Then use that spatula or spoon or whatever and mix it until it is combined. Now let's go back over to our carrots and have a look. Perfect. Drain them off completely free of any water before adding them right over to our pan of butter and honey. Now, of course, we want to season up with salt and fresh cracked black pepper, and then using that exact same motion, we want to sort of swirl it around back and forth, front to back, to coat them completely in that honey butter mixture. Okay, to plate them up, very, very simple. What I like to do is garnish with some fresh chopped parsley or even chives if you want. Give them a toss, make sure they are all coated in there, and then just serve them up in a dish. And absolutely do not forget to pour all those remaining juices all over these carrots. Such incredibly easy recipes to make, but it does come back to these fundamental basic techniques to help elevate your everyday cooking. Making sure not to overcook the carrots in the boiling water, swirling that pan around to get the glaze just right, caramelizing up those Brussels sprouts to bring out all that natural sugar, and of course, roasting up the acorn squash in that butter and that sugar. Oh my gosh, so dang delicious. If you love this recipe and learned something, please, please, please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and smash that bell icon so you know every time I post a new video. Let's get in this.